But those guys are hanging on to hope, that's for sure.
Well, this is phase one of the president's plan to secure the southern border. He's been under a lot of pressure to do just that, and the first battery of National Guard troops will arrive in Arizona, set to patrol some lawless desert areas between Mexico and the United States. Now, President Obama promised hundreds of troops. There's about 524, somewhere in that range, that's going to be sent to the area that you're looking at right here. I'm joined now by Congressman Trent Franks. He's an Arizona Republican. He's on the House Armed Services and Judiciary Committee. Congressman, welcome. Good to have you here today.
Good morning, Martha.
So 520-some troops to the area. 30 went down there today. But we're told that they're sort of eyes and ears forces. They have no authority to arrest anybody, but they're supposed to sort of help look for illegals crossing the border, right?
Well, I guess that's the ostensible statement. You know, the reality is that John McCain and John Kyle and I had asked for 6,000 troops for the southern border. And they chose 1,200, which about 500 are coming to the Arizona area. And, you know, in the backdrop of Iran just announcing recently that they have enough material to ultimately fuel 2 nuclear warheads, this administration continues to refuse to secure the border and weaken our missile defense. And I just have to say to you that I feel like they're just kind of stumbling through this lackadaisical, see no evil, asleep at the wheel, obliviousness when it comes to our national security.
They would say that the border is safer now that it's been a long time, that they've made a concerted effort to send people down there. 524 people are going to be on the Arizona border. That's 524 that didn't used to be there. They would say that, I believe, that they have said this is a step in the right direction.
Well, you know, it took an awful lot to get them to do that. They promised the beginning of those troops would be here a month ago. And I think if it hadn't been for some of the efforts made by Arizona, that even this wouldn't be happening. And I just feel like that the biggest challenge this administration has is understanding that border security is not just about immigration, it's about national security. I'm on the Armed Services Committee and the Strategic Forces Committee, and I guess it's my job to worry about those things. But I really believe that this administration just simply doesn't have a grasp on how significant that issue is.
Representative, I don't want to let you go without talking about this because I think this is going to get a lot of attention in the coming days. The State Department has recommended that the Arizona law, which was duly passed in the Arizona legislature, which we all know the history of this at this point, that law be put on the list of human rights concerns for the United States to be evaluated at the United Nations among a huge list of horrific human rights violations from all around the world. What's your reaction to that?
Well, I guess first I'm a little dumbfounded. You know, I hate to be the one to have to be so direct, but this administration, this is the most pro-abortion administration in the history of the nation. They want abortion throughout all 9 months of pregnancy for no reason, for any reason. They want taxpayers to pay for it, and they want to export that with taxpayer money across the world. Human rights issues is the last thing they should want to be talking about. And to suggest that somehow a duly passed law that only enforced the federal policy is somehow now a human rights challenge, and that they list this with the United Nations as a way of dealing with human rights abuses, I just find that astonishing. Our governor called it internationalism running amok, and I guess that's as good a word as you could put on it. But I'm just astonished that this administration would apologize before the United Nations for protecting our borders.
I do think a lot of people are going to be very shocked to hear that the Arizona law has been put on the list of human rights concerns for this country by our own State Department. We're going to continue to cover this story here and get some more thoughts on that. Representative Trent Franks, thank you very much for being here today, sir.
Thank you.
Good to have
Thank you for covering it.
Well, we want to know what you think about all of this. What do you think about the fact that the UN will be considering